Hey, welcome back to video 3 of our multi-video series on willpower. We've talked about the definition and the basics. We've talked about that prefrontal cortex and how most of our decisions are not actually rational. They're very instinctual but emotional kinds of decisions and choices. So let's talk now about stress and where that affects our willpower and decision making. So stress will actually shift your brain into reward-seeking activities. Whatever will make you happy in that moment to keep you going is what will become your fixation. And when that's the fixation, it's usually the opposite of what your ultimate goals are in your life. So in order to rescue your mind from a state of stress, the very first thing you should focus on, and it's so elementary, is our breathing. Our breathing calms us. It ignites the part of the prefrontal cortex that will help us to make better decisions. It will calm your heart rate, and it will help to balance out and level out your mind. And when you are calm, you are more conducive to self-control. So let's talk about the obstacles to self-control. Stress, which we just talked about, self-criticism, and temptation. So let's talk a moment about self-criticism. So when you experience guilt and shame because of what you've just done, or because what you've just done is the opposite of what you said you were going to do, that doesn't create change. It certainly doesn't create positive change, and it actually creates an overindulgence in the wrong direction. So what do we do instead of self-criticism? Because if you're anything like me, it is so easy to just rip and tear myself apart because of what I did or what I didn't do, because of what I said or how I said it. Instead of self-criticism, talk to yourself in that inner voice as if you're speaking with your dearest friend. Show some compassion, show some kindness, show some grace, and then help motivate. What's it going to take to refocus on what's really important to you and start moving in that direction instead of the self-indulgence and the self-criticism that you just got out of? This will help create greater motivation and even better self-control moving forward. And I want to share a quote with you from Ray Baumeister. I love what he says about willpower. He says, "People with low willpower use it to get out of crisis. People with high willpower use it to not get themselves into crisis." So keep in mind that willpower does get depleted throughout the day. So that's why 9 o'clock snacks are so easy to indulge into, because we're kind of worn out from all of the choices and decisions that we've had to make. Our willpower is completely depleted by that day, and we have to recharge with really great sleep. So if you're going to make any large decisions, make them earlier in the day and remove temptation from you later in the day so that you don't find yourself just giving in. I encourage you, take a piece of paper and a pen and just track every single decision that you make for the day, from hitting the snooze button or getting up and working out, from what you chose to have for breakfast, for what you chose to wear that day. Are you just wearing something comfortable, or are you wearing your big power suit, right? Are you spending a little extra time on your hair and makeup or how you look that day? Or are you just like gonna go with it? Did you take off in plenty of time where you don't have to run red lights or speed on your way to work? Or did you wait until the very last minute, which is going to force you to make some poor decisions? If you manage people at work, think about all of those decisions for all of those other people, and then your own role. You're choosing and making decisions all day long. From the activities that we choose, to the food that we put in our mouth, to what we do or don't do, what we say or don't say, it all adds up. And now you have a better idea why your willpower can feel so depleted throughout the day. It's because of all of those choices. And when you honor yourself for being able to get through all of those choices and those decisions, it might actually help boost up just a little bit of a charge, so that way you can make some better choices throughout the rest of the day, because there are still choices to be made for the rest of the day. Thanks so much for being here with me. Join me for the final video next.